Welcome to this moment, to your breath, to breathing in, breathing out. What are you aware of right now? What would like your attention? And if it can be set aside momentarily to bring our attention to our my humanity, my humanness, my particular attributes of our species. In order to do that, I'm going to put on another pair of glasses. If you're just listening to the recording, I will describe what hopefully you're seeing. And it's a pair of glasses with clouds and lightning bolts on the lens, on the actually glass part. So I can see in my peripheral vision a little bit, but in front of me, I can just see clouds and lightning and the acculturation that I grew up with, usually with the need to keep us safe. We need to belong, right? All kinds of beautiful parts of our culture that we share with others, not all others, but some others. And they told us certain things that are not true for all humans in the world. And part of these clouds are also the systems of oppression. I know that's a judgment. Just about everything is a judgment. So by systems of oppression, I mean this sort of in our society, this sort of pecking order, this sort of ordering of the people in our environment based on whose voice is heard, who is considered most important. And the first way we run into this pecking order is when we're kids. When we come into this world as a beautiful newborn and told to stop crying. Stop crying, suck it up, get used to it now. There's going to be a lot more of it in your life, right? So I still have these glasses on, which I want to take off. So again, these clouds are sort of put in front of our eyes when we're told we can't speak, we can't cry, we can't express our emotions, and so they become part of who we identify as who we are. It becomes part of the way we see the world. You don't have power, you can't speak, you can't blah, 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 whatever the story is. And there are certain identities that are systemically given more power, and they're still human. They still have the same impulses and the same feelings and the same needs, the same values in the big picture of values, not the individual ways. So I'm using this now to come into this sense of how is it that I cannot see other people? And I think that I'm going to take one of these clouds off because I really don't like seeing other people. Oh man, what a relief. Now, this is sort of when we get older and we start to see this is my adolescent years when I rebelled against anybody that told me no, that anybody that seemed to embody more power than I had. And I noticed that there are people that I was told about that was actually, they're exactly like me, except for the way that they were conditioned, acculturated, the way they were raised. And maybe like me, for a sense of safety, that they were told that they were unworthy and that they weren't enough. So, again, I'm using these classes just to give compassion to my stories about the world, my clouds, to give compassion to my clouds, and to know in this lifetime that it's my responsibility for removing the clouds. They are going to come and go, and it's up to me to cultivate my awareness. I'm about to tear up because of just the immensity of what I'm suggesting to myself right now and to you. That in this moment, we can choose to take the clouds, to remove the clouds from our vision. And to grieve, the deep grief that made it so that people thought it was a good idea to give us these clouds, these stories about other people and stories about ourselves, these little versions. So breathe into the sadness of, yes, there's things that keep us from fully seeing each other. And they start with stories that keep us from seeing ourselves. When we believe the stories that we're not good enough, that we're unworthy, that we have no power, even, of course, many of us are in environments that are, everybody around us was told that they have more power than us. So to have compassion for them is not easy when we're still in our teenage years of saying no to them and trying to prove otherwise. So the invitation is to come to ourselves, come to our stories, give the compassion, don't tell them to shut up because, blah, 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 blah. Just give them compassion for being there when we notice that there's things that keep me from seeing other human beings, beliefs that keep me from seeing other human beings. Because darned if the media doesn't play into those stories. Don't believe everything you see on YouTube, only me. No, I'm going to reframe that. Not even me. Check in with your body right now. This is up to you. This is your life. This is your responsibility to set down the stories that I am a victim. That's the first one to possibly let go of. And it's not because we set down their stories, it's not saying that other people aren't responsible for how to put it in a way that's just more, with more equanimity. It's not up to us to make other people see the big picture. It's up to us to unravel whatever keeps us from seeing myself as human and seeing others as human. To this vault we put around our heart. That, of course, we have an idea that keeps us safe. It's an intergenerational thing. If I can't be mad at my mother for all the things that she tried to instill in me because she came by them honestly. She inherited them. It's okay, this is what she thought she wanted to pass on, and it's my responsibility to make other choices, particularly about how other people are. To how people are that seem to have more, well, they are. They're given more access to resources in the world. One of my identities has an incredible, astounding access to resources, and another does not. Another has limitations put on me. And if we live in parts of the world that have, for example, that the United States has exported their capitalism, their racism, their sexism, their patriarchy. We have been very effective at exporting this all over the world and keeping the US at the top of this great big heap of power. And it's, I think, particularly those of US heritage, it is our responsibility to use that power for helping to dismantle it in ourselves, starting with our own vision of how we see ourselves and how we see other people, and what it is that's blocking. If there is somebody that we hold in, that we despise and we think is so incredibly different from us, I invite you to question that story. It's not easy. It's really the path of vulnerability. It'll break apart all of this armoring that our parents have given us, our grandparents have given us, and connect us at the heart level. So, I want to give you time just to be with how this lives in your body, these stories. What are the stories that keep me from seeing other people? What are the stories about my life that actually empower me and give me a sense of agency? That I can make a difference, that I can move through any certainly guilt and shame are not helpful in as much as to believe what creates them. But it's helpful looking at the needs that create these emotions in the first place. So taking up a little bit more space in your life than I meant to today. I just want to invite you to the power of taking responsibility right here.